Come on, dog.
Go.
Damn, dude, these figures really do.
We're talking figures. We're talking McFarlane. We back.
Yeah, so welcome to episode 2. Cheers to
Episode 2. Cheers. So this one will be comics, collectibles, and coffee and crafts. Crafts with a K though. Where's with a C? No, with a C.
Crafts.
Crafts.
Crafts with a C.
I'm illiterate, so and it's only the first beer, I promise. I mean, the Cuban coffee high is no joke, but doing
Good.
that.
Dude, I love that they made them so small.
Yeah.
Ripped off the labels.
Yeah, of course, just in case.
That's so funny.
I don't want a gag order.
I don't know what this is, but the Latinos can make.
You know what it is?
damn good beer.
It's a Mexican beer. It's a good Mexican beer too. So it's not Corona. Obviously, you can, that's the only good. The Corona, you know by the shape of the bottle. Actually, you know by the shape of the bottle. If you drink beer, you know what we're drinking. So good stuff.
So we were talking last time.
So before diving into that, we got to start there properly. Anthony over there, RamFam Collectibles.
What's up, RamFam fans?
Yeah.
RamFam Collectibles, RamFamCollectibles.com. Free shipping over $99. Same day, next day shipping. USPS priority mail. I don't know how I ship shit.
There you go. And I'm Omega with Fanatically Correct. And just check out all our socials. You can get to everything, fanaticallycorrect.com, which will take you to our link tree. linktr.ee/fancorrect. And it'll take you to all our good stuff. Events coming up, all kinds of fun stuff. And yes, Anthony was starting with talking about what we were just talking about our last episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, Todd McFarlane. Apparently, this is like the Todd McFarlane show so far.
Yeah,
He's
no
batting
kidding,
100.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna charge him money. Actually, a week ago, we ended on the last episode, and we'll dive into that. But since we were talking Spawn, we're gonna talk some Todd McFarlane because we had the New York toy fair.
I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
You know, we were talking because he just binged Gen V, and I was talking about that I caught the first 2 episodes in the
3
theater.
episodes in.
So here's some information.
Every Thursday, Amazon Prime, by the way.
There you go.
Gen V. Check it out.
Gen V. Oh, that's
it's
when
a
it's
spin-off
Thursday
of the boys.
Yeah, it's
3 seasons. Amazing.
It's a Prime show, and here for Amazon Prime peoples. Do you do anything with Amazon Prime with RamFam, or everything's
You know what's
directly?
really funny?
Just side note, just curious.
So I got really, really high like a week ago. I'm now linked to TikTok, to Etsy, to Walmart seller, and Amazon.
There you go.
I'm having an error with Walmart. Someone's helping me with it. And then Amazon, I'm approved. I just haven't set anything up because it's so time consuming. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But yes, I actually will be.
Well, for Amazon Prime account holders, I had gotten an email to see the first 2 episodes in the theater.
That's rad.
And apparently go to Amazon Prime premieres, because apparently they aren't the best at always getting everyone the email. Maybe they randomly send you the direct email and the link. But sign up for Amazon Prime premieres, and if you have an Amazon Prime account, when they have premieres, which is like the first 2 episodes of a show,
right,
or one of the Amazon Prime direct-to-Prime movies, things like that, they send you free passes to a theater. They usually pick a theater. Avatar. This one was Cinemark.
Not bad.
And also including concessions. So you get a popcorn, you get a soda.
Baby.
You got access to the theater. It's an XD theater, reclining seats, good stuff.
For free.
Got a poster. Yeah, well, included in your Amazon Prime account. So if you have a
Yeah, but I paid $100 a year.
Exactly. So free,
So I got
but
free.
technically it's included. So that may bring value. And this is, you'll know as in RamFam Collectibles, and like Eddie talks about this time in Flynn's Arcade and more, and any of the people we work with way back when, and when we do the events and stuff like that. Bring value to what you're selling.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big business point from what I understand is like, don't haggle price, haggle value.
Yeah.
In other words, don't like, in other words, have a fair price, and we've talked about that, and there's fair price and unfair. But once you have a fair price, you don't have to budge on that. What you budge on is what value you're getting from that price, and that's one of the things Amazon Prime does. They charge you this amount, and then they just keep adding value to what your membership gets you. So it was a cool thing. Now we're going to get vulgar and dirty. So again, warning, if you watch Fanatically Correct, a lot of panel episodes, we tend to be a little bit more clean, but we're watching
Not here,
Spawn.
baby.
Yeah, we're watching Spawn, we're drinking beer, having coffee, we're going to talk shit. So outside of that, so Gen V, the boys, this is one thing I'll say. It was a great time. It was fun. Glad we did it. But you binged the first 3 episodes. Yeah. Well, episode 1, I forgot what I was about to see in theaters because I watched The Boys. I'm caught up. I've seen it already.
Yeah. Dude, they're the best.
I forgot what I was about to see on the big screen. Yeah. Boy, he's the Collar. He's the best. So yeah, I forgot what I was about to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I can fairly say that I obviously saw the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. And I was 3 rows, like, because the reclining seats are like, I was literally 3 rows from the screen. Oh, exactly. And spoiler alert, watch Gen V. If not, jump about 2 minutes into the episode if you don't want to hear this. But there's the scene with the termite. No, Cricket. She's Cricket. Termites from The Boys, which is why I should have seen that coming, that they're going to do something like that. And there's this a scene where she shrinks, and when they show that perspective, literally the whole screen is this guy's penis. Amazing. And it's like, dude.
And let me tell you something.
And I'm watching it with, check out his review and everything. Jake Lugo, he's someone I do a lot of stuff with content. He's a content creator with Flynn's, and he does game reviews and all that stuff and Star Wars stuff. But I saw it with him, and we're just looking like, oh, dude.
So what's really cool about it, and I am a lover for cinema. And when I saw that on our giant ass fucking TV, I looked at that penis, looked it dead in its eye, and it was as accurate of a penis as I've ever seen. I don't know if it's CGI. I don't know what it was, but that was a fucking penis, dude.
But yeah, dude, that was so X-rated. That was true. I was like, dude, I completely forgot. Like, that's right, the boy. And I forgot because early on, and it was very graphic. I mean, how the main character finds out about her powers. That scene too. I'm like, dude, what am I watching? Like, no, like I don't know how you like. But it's like, dude, it's
tragic for that.
Yes, but I will tell you, badass backstory. Yeah. Badass back. And this is what I'll say, and we'll get into the McFarlane stuff, into the toy show, but and we'll go back and forth for a couple minutes on it. What I liked about that impressed me already with Gen V. First, I only saw the first 2 episodes in the theater. Mm-hmm. Luckily, they dropped the first 3, so I felt like, oh, good, because I thought it was gonna be like a week to week. I'm like, dude, I gotta wait 3 weeks for a new episode. Now.
No,
like, I left the theater disappointed, like, oh, damn, I gotta wait, 3 weeks for a new episode. And luckily, they dropped 3, so I got to watch the 3rd, so that was new to me. So I felt like, oh, cool, I'm still partaking in the new, the newism, new release, and it just came out. So by the time you air and hear this clip or whatever, jump on it. At least 3, maybe 4 episodes are out now. But, and you said every Thursday, right?
Every Thursday they're releasing it. So in a couple days we're going to catch it.
So I was able to jump in and enjoy that. But, I mean, it's so impressive that it's a different. So it's in the Boys universe, and there's gonna be a lot of.
And they make a lot of references,
a lot of crossover,
and it's post season 3. That's
exactly
100%
fantastic. So it's like a prequel to the next season, but it's its own story.
Yeah,
it has its own set of scenarios going on, its own weight and things that these college kids have to deal with, and they're going after that crowd because they know that now they got that 1920s just out of high school age. So it has a little bit of that. Vampire Diaries, Sabrina,
but not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. I'm saying it has like kind of like that formula. You know what I mean? Of the group of kids.
The ranking system is really important because that's how we have like with social media. It's like, hey, I got 1 million followers. You only got 100,000 followers.
And they're dealing and again because the Boys does deal with things. Boys is more of about society.
Yeah. What's happening today.
And government and propaganda and things like that is what it's attacking. This one is very clever and like now let's reveal the stuff about social media woes. Like
trans with the trans, one character
it has the things with purging and you know and attacking that of like you know for this character it's actually not a thing but it is a thing and then someone virtue signaling using her thing you know what I mean like so and there is a lot of that there's a lot of people exploiting other people's problems or difficulties or trauma and things like that for their benefit so it deals a lot of that and that is the age group in the life that they deal with so it is a lot of metaphor for things like that so it's pretty interesting and I'm like it's actually got a good story and I'm like and it's a set from the Boys smaller scale because the Boys are worldwide you know it's super villains and super but it's
the
like
7
the 7 and that's what's cool because it leads to that this is all about the 7 and I will tell you actually when because I brought up Sabrina Terrifying Tales of Sabrina Teenage Witch on Netflix or whatever 2 of the main characters from the show are that show which is the main character the black girl I can't remember the character's name now but she's awesome and
I really like her
she's in that show and I think he's British in real life the who's spoilers. Who's number 1 now? The one with telekinesis.
Oh yeah.
I think he's British in real life. He's a UK actor.
He's the one that sent Cricket.
Yes, and then they have and I said Supernatural earlier. There's a guy that was a big character that has a small character. He's the one that's Jumanji.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like. What a small role they gave this guy. Like, he's just beating himself in the crotch with a baseball bat.
Because of the blonde girl. Listen, okay, so I figured something out.
It's wild who's who, like, in Boys. You're like, oh, that's Superman. That's awkward.
Yeah, you can tell.
Who's in X. They're going X-Men heavy. Yeah. That's what X-Men's the younger kids, whatever. And you can tell who's who from the X-Men in like Fantastic Four and
What's really interesting, I found out about myself. So I watched the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial live. Okay,
I did too.
I'm now married
grumpy.
to my second wife.
She made her grumpy on the bed.
Let me tell you something. I hope I'm gonna move this so I make my message very clear. I'm obsessed with Amber Heard right now. I love crazy
Because
girls.
I said Aquaman.
Yeah, that too, dude. So I realized that. So we were watching the blonde girl from Gen V. She goes to that guy who's making fun of whatever, and he's like, "Hey, go get a baseball bat, hit yourself in the dick as many times as you can, as hard as you can, and every time you do it, scream Jumanji." And then he's got this 3-second clip of him doing it. So I looked at my wife.
And they waited till like the end of the episode.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
and it's in the background a little
he's still
bit.
doing it. Wasn't it like the next day?
Yes.
Like, dude, this guy's still doing.
He does. Well, that's the power, right?
Terrible.
Like, it just happens.
Yeah, dude, terrible.
So
like, doesn't it wear off at some point?
I hope so. I don't think so because she talked about her brother.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Okay, so back to Amber Heard and this crazy girl from Gen V. So like she did that stuff, and I turned to my wife and I'm like, "Is it weird that I'm really attracted to that?" And she's like, "You really like crazy girls."
Yes, it is weird.
My first wife had some things. I mean, that respectful. I also had some things. My now wife, she's got some things going on. Like she does some crazy shit sometimes, and like
okay,
like a rational person.
Everyone has some things.
Dude, I love
those.
Crazy.
Are just the things you're attracted to.
Dude, Amber Heard
for most
shitting
people,
on a bed.
Dude, so
let's fucking go.
So when she made her grumpy, everyone else was like, "Oh God, this terrible woman." You're like,
yeah,
holding on to her.
And then you know what I did?
You're like, damn, Johnny, you messed up. You had to keep her.
I went straight on Instagram, man. I found her, and I was like, man, she hasn't posted in a while. I can't find out where she's at. She's like in hiding now, man.
It's hilarious.
I don't know who lied. There are two actors.
She's gonna be in
lying.
Aquaman too. So
yeah, and apparently
they took out her scenes and now they're putting them back in.
I don't know what the fuck's
I don't
going
know what
on
they're
with
gonna
it,
do.
dude. I just all I know is I like the crazy ones, dude. I don't know what it doesn't make sense to me. It's just fucking. I want to you just shit in my fucking bed.
Nice. That's you.
God.
You're like, nice.
So where do you want to fuck?
You want to marry me?
God damn.
I'm going ring shopping.
So yeah, I found that out. So when that girl did that, I was like, that's
comics,
really
collectibles, and crazy women.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, dude, I love dude, the crazier the better, man. I fucking love that shit.
Hilarious. But it's a great show. It's a great show, and get on it because we'll be referencing and talking about it because it's something we're both watching apparently, and I'll probably end up doing another podcast with my co-hosts and stuff once I catch up.
The girl that plays cricket.
Yeah,
shout out.
She's from other stuff, and I just can't remember what.
Dude, she is unbelievably
awesome.
Amazing in that show because she starts
great performance
hooking up with that guy that wants to do that thing that watched her YouTube video, and like you can just see in her face like, oh, I wanted this to be a sexual experience between us, and you made it my superpower. Yeah. Excuse me, that's not who I am.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then you find out how she has to activate her powers.
That, which is even worse. Like, and then definitely not in the mood now.
And then like she's just hanging on to this dick and like slapping his balls because he's so fucking.
She's kicking it,
dude. It's amazing.
It's so funny.
So she did a really good job, I think, as an actress.
No,
but
she's
her character as a whole is really
all
good.
the characters, how things are playing out, the casting, like perfect. It's great. It's great. It's such a great lateral step from the boys.
Yeah.
Like you're. It's the boys,
and they reference a couple of quick shots. They talk about on TV screen. They're like, what's his name? Homelander going on trial? ? And they're referencing him blasting that dude's head. They reference some stuff with Starlight and Maeve dying.
And I will tell you right now, I think this one's a bit of an easier one, but a reference, and I did in the last episode, but I'll reference. This is eventual homework on Hulu. There's a series called Misfits, and it's a UK show. 12, 13 years old now. You watch Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the main characters from that, the Seance, which is the gay brother that can see dead people. And
I like him.
So he's from Misfits. That's what he's one of the main characters from that show. That's where he started when he was really young. He was like 17 in that show. But it's kind of the show that started this all. It just didn't get famous, but it's a show about superheroes and it's vulgar and why it's called Misfits is because it's a kid, a group of late teens. Not juveniles, because remember they graduated at 16 in the UK and stuff like that, but they're like on community service, and through this town on the day that they're in community service, this crazy storm comes through and just starts shooting these bolts of lightning through the town that enables people with superpowers throughout the town.
Fuck yeah,
so
dude.
These group of kids basically become the closest thing to heroes
Light me up, baby.
in this town, but they're like drug addicts and alcoholics and
Yeah,
and,
the misfits, yeah,
they're
yeah,
misfits, you know what I mean? But they just like they're the people like this is the right thing to do. But then like they just like one guy, just an example, spoiler alert, but there's one guy like he just turns into a dog at night, like not even like a wolf or a puppy, like a small little worthless dog, like. And one guy, and then you find out there's a whole other thing about a guy turns into a gorilla, but it's actually a gorilla that turns into a guy. So it's a whole. So it actually wasn't a guy who got this power. It's a gorilla that got this power. So,
that's pretty
cool. So
cool.
there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens, and there's a lot of sexual things. So very much like The Boys, but. The reason I big it up is because, and then I shit you not, is going to make you want to see it. So this is going to be your next homework after we do the whole Spawn thing. We'll get into this. Is the baddest villain, in my opinion, that whole series of Misfits, and his superpower, and this is when you're going to go like, get the fuck out of here. The baddest villain that they face in that show, his superpower, it's called lactotenesis. He controls milk. Exactly. But then when you watch and you go, this is fucking genius of what he does. And I don't want to give any of it away because I want you to be
don't
shocked.
say anything.
That's why.
Yeah,
but what he can do with that power, you're like, dude, this is devastatingly dangerous to have this power. And that's what I want to get into now back to Gen V, is that here's a little bit easier to be creative about where that's going to go. She controls blood. At first,
Right.
like, control blood. Like, stop. Think about controlling blood.
And now you know, and I don't remember what episode.
The first one.
Oh, okay.
At the-
So
at the
now
bar.
you know she can
Which I knew they were going to get
control
into that.
other people's blood.
And I knew they were going to get
Yeah,
into that. Well,
that's really
she already
smart.
knew she could control other people's blood, but not in the way that she's ever controlled it before, which is to heal.
Right.
And
She-
that's what I'm getting
the
at.
artery, she either closed it or she just kept it in there.
She put it back in and then closed it.
Yeah.
She,
Okay.
she force coagulated it. Sped up the process.
I thought she was just like, no, the blood that's out, just put it back
that's
in.
yeah. She
Okay.
did put it back, and then she coagulated it. So like basically like, sealed it. I mean, she still has a scar and all that, but coagulated the blood so it would stop the bleeding.
Can you imagine being
It
that
saved her life.
girl? You're at a fucking bar, and because of a drunk
Yeah,
asshole
all this stuff that
pushed
happens-
into you, your fucking artery got cut.
That's just
dude.
wow. And then her story, because I don't want to give too much
lawsuit.
spoilers, but her story, her backstory of how she found out about her powers, devastating. I'm
Go
watching like, wow.
watch
And I saw it in the theater, dude.
You know what?
everyone-
Alayla, she's at that age.
Oh, wow.
I ain't gonna go in that fucking bathroom.
No, fuck. See, now you're gonna be traumatized by that too, though. Now, like that's what I'm saying. Like they put stuff in this show that they're like, yeah, we don't care. That's your trauma. Now deal with it.
Yeah,
you
good
saw
luck,
it.
bro.
You can't see it. Enjoy life.
You know what's really cool? Shout out to the boys.
Yeah.
How they did. I think it was the first episode of season 3 with the miniature, the original miniature guy, Termite, who went into the guy's dick. Sneezed,
I'm glad I
and
didn't
got
see
big.
that. I'm glad I didn't see that in a big screen.
Dude, I lost my shit. But what was even better is when he got small again, and then they
He's trying
captured
to
him
get
in a
it.
bag
Oh,
of
yeah,
fucking
and
cocaine.
is shaking up.
And then you just see him like shaking it and be like,
Done.
no, he'll be all right.
Done.
Like, holy
Done.
shit.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's like all the but this is a good credit to the writers,
Yeah.
to the actors, to everybody involved with the boys, that universe, and really spilling out now with the Actors Guild, the Writers Guild,
Yeah.
all that shit's finally
They're,
settled.
yeah, resolving as we
it
talk.
should really show like that is a really good example, at least for recently
Yeah.
for me, of like, holy shit,
Very
this is
creative.
great writing.
Very creative.
Who would have thought this short guy would have been, who was whooping Frenchie's ass, would have been just thrown into a baggie with cocaine?
I'm excited. I'm excited with the show because they do wild stuff. So like that's why I made the side note. You watch Misfits and like that's where they show creative writing and things.
Do you
like
remember
that.
how many seasons and stuff? Is it one
It's on Hulu. It's like 5 or 6 seasons.
God damn! They
But it's
went
only
with-
like 8 episodes, maybe 10 at the
Nice.
most, and they're like 20-something minutes.
Beautiful.
Like Spawn.
I'll binge
So
soon.
they're quick, easy binges. Easy
I'm
binges.
gonna have to quit my job.
And I know, right? What's funny is like actually my co-host on Fanatically Correct, MSK, he always jokes about this, and then it happens. He always jokes like, "Too much content. I need a strike."
Jesus, that's good.
I need to catch up. I need a strike.
Yeah,
there needs to be
yeah.
a strike. And it's like we always joked about it from the first one. Then it happened like, so how much content did we all really get to catch up on since this strike?
Yeah,
you know. But it is like I need something to slow content down so I
Yeah.
can catch up. But that being said, and actually, so we can get into one of the topics we want to discuss. And I'm curious about this. Are there? I doubt you saw any, but are there collectibles now of like the boys?
Yeah.
I mean, Gen V's obviously gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah,
Funko
yeah.
Pops for sure. I mean, Funko Pops. are
So
everywhere.
they have, I think it was,
And you're not, but you do more of the
NECA that
action
did it.
figures and the collectibles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, NECA had Homelander, Starlight,
Nice.
Black Noir. I assume they would have had.
Does McFarlane make any of those? Like you said, it's becoming a McFarlane episode.
I'm pretty sure it's. Yeah, dude, this guy owes me a free fucking Batmobile.
I want that
expensive.
Bat Cycle. Well, that's what we was funny. What we were talking about. I got the sound killed on this, right? Yeah, I do.
Boys,
I want to go.
toys.
It would be New York Toy Fair.
Yeah, it's Toy Fair.
Do they have their own? Oh, just Toy Fair. Did they have their own Instagram? Toy Fair. Because I was looking at that's how I saw it, and that's why I brought up McFarlane Toy Fair. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, Mayfex. That's who it was.
Oh, okay, here we go. The official account for Toy Fair New York.
Mayfex. NECA did some. Hey, shout out to NECA, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they just churn out great products. I know it's not so much your world as much as it is my world, but when you look at like Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, Mayfex usually does really good. SH Fig Arts does do really good, but NECA really does a good job consistently.
And they're the ones that do like the boys and the.
They've done the boys. They just did Universal Monsters with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
So like Raphael was Frankenstein.
Oh, okay, I've seen those.
Donatello's
Now I know.
Invisible
Now
Man.
off the top of my head, I know which one.
They do a really good job. They've had quality control, but nothing like Marvel Legends or nothing like a lot of these other places. They're not like churning and burning at the rate others are, but they do a really good job all the way around with all their figures. So shout out to NECA. You're doing awesome.
So I'm sure you carry those products on RamFam.
On that,
perfect.
Not every single one.
Yeah, no, specific the ones that you,
but the good
ones you get,
like
the ones you like.
They do like Gremlins. They'll do Jaws. Dude, like they do a lot of King Kong, Godzilla, monsters.
See, that's what I like. You know what I mean? Like,
Turtles.
it's like now they're doing the stuff that they normally wouldn't do. Collectibles, and action figures of, and
because people have money now.
But that's where, and I was talking about McFarlane because like I don't know, I think like the cool because I'm thinking Spawn, and I'm thinking like those type of characters. I would that action figure, muscular, the details on the muscle and the details on the scarring and like the crow and things like that. But what I like is the throwback, and that's why I wasn't sure. You said no, it is McFarlane making it. Is the Batman the animated series line?
I got it pulled up
that he has.
So for those of you that did not see it, I think it was in New York. Oh, nice. I just had my stuff delivered. New York Toy Fair 2023. McFarlane Toys released a bunch of shit. So I'm just going to focus on the Batman stuff. Yeah. They had Spawn stuff there, too. And I'm probably not going to get into it, but I'm going to get into it. But they released 5 toys that are Target exclusives.
Your favorite.
Fuckers.
Your favorite.
But so like check this out. Look at the box designs. Just the boxes themselves. The red and the blue. They have the OG Batman in the front. I'll clip something up when I make this on the Instagram.
So those are the 5 they just released.
So those are 5 that will be released.
So the Batcycle is the one that we discussed.
So Batcycle is by itself. The Batman, you can tell they took the Batman out to put on the Batcycle. They have Robin. They have Scarecrow. I forget
Alfred.
Alfred. And it's the good Alfred.
And Mr. Freeze.
So now this is the animated series one. But then they also released a Batman and Robin. The one with George Clooney. Okay. But let me tell you something. With Arnold Schwarzenegger as
Mr. Freeze. So George Clooney's ass coming back at the end of The Flash has now had repercussions on the collectibles world.
Yeah. But they did a good job. I was looking
Batman
at
and Robin's
photos of
Chris
those.
O'Donnell is Robin, and what's her name? Alicia Silverstone
as Batgirl. And I'll show you those. But those, I mean, they have Poison Ivy too. It's a Build-A-Figure for Mr. Freeze.
I will give it to the shoe because those are the Schumacher ones.
And that Poison Ivy, back to my earlier comment about Crazy Girls. That Poison Ivy.
Oh, so it does the thing where it has the pieces, so you collect the
BAF to build a figure.
BAF.
So you have to buy Batman, Robin, Batgirl,
in order to build Mr. Freeze.
To get Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
Chill out.
But you know what?
Batman, chill out.
I was looking at...
I just want to have Lockhart effect. I say, boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's something... So this used to be my wife's...
You weren't kidding about the Ninja Turtles, man.
I don't fuck around with that shit.
You know.
So what's really nice about this is... You get a close-up of all the photo. I won't show you, but...
Well, I saw on the Batcycle, the one that McFarlane, the video that I caught, the Batman lights up. Like, he has a changeable head. So his head changes to the one that's the helmet for the Batcycle. It's awesome. And then the Batcycle's like brake lights, like all these, and then it lights up the head, too, his face.
Yes.
And the helmet.
I'm looking at it. It looks so good.
But I love it because, like, for McFarlane, it feels to me that's like a dumbed-down style of animation to make figures of. You know what I mean? Because look at the Spawn animated series we've been talking about in the last episode, and look at the type of drawings and artwork he did for Spider-Man and for Batman. All the like very detailed how in the animated series. What makes that artwork so cool is that it's more simplified.
Yeah, I love it.
Not cheesy,
bad.
simplified,
Right.
not bad simplified like South Park or Rick and Morty. Where like it looks like terrible
Hey,
drawing, but then
wrong with Rick and
try
Morty?
to redraw it. It's really good. That's what I always tell people. People, no, I love Rick and Morty, but I don't. Dude, get out of here.
Custom fucking tap, bro.
Hey, Rick, I got this tattoo. I got this tattoo, Rick. Oh my life.
I was in like
You saw the
Pittsburgh.
trailer? They already got the trailer for the new season.
Season 7 or something. I didn't
Rick
see it.
sounds off. I mean, because I'm not gonna
Yeah,
get
I
into
know.
the whole thing with the voice. But yeah, Rick sounds a little off. But I dude, that show's great.
show's
But my point is that, like, even with South Park, things like that, a lot of people like it's that style of animation where it looks like that's like weak, but then try to draw it.
Yeah, you can't
And
do it.
like I could do it, but I went to art school and all that. But I'm just
Right.
saying in general people like, yeah, try to draw. It's like
Yeah.
it gets complicated. You see kids try to redraw things like why is it so hard? You figure squiggly lines. The Simpsons is very
Yeah.
simplified.
But you can fuck it up real easy.
Yeah, exactly, because there's a style to it. But that's what I'll say, like McFarlane's style of action figure, of artwork, or whatever. I feel that that's a very simplified artwork for them to take on,
Yeah.
to make figures for.
But
they look super cool.
The box looks amazing.
There's a book.
Everything
I
looks
gotta
amazing
get
in
it.
this.
I think there's a book of it, and I gotta get it. One of my favorite things about Batman animated series is that every episode had its artwork. They would always show it like with the title screen when they would show the name of the episode. Oh yeah, check it out right now. Google it real quick, and you're gonna be amazed.
What am I Googling?
But Batman animated series would be credit artwork or title screen artwork. Yeah, put Batman animated series title screen artwork, and I believe there's a book that's just all of them, like every single episode, the different artwork. But they would make a specific artwork for every single episode, and that's it's just beautiful.
Title
Like,
card.
yeah, title card. There you go. And I'm turning like, yeah, exactly. So now, can you imagine like you have like your man cave? or
Oh
whatever?
yeah, I remember this.
So can you imagine, like, your man cave,
That was
whatever?
the name of the episode. Right,
Yeah, and
right,
you just had that all over your wall, all those episodes. Even when they weren't a good episode, they would have a cool artwork.
You know what's really? I have a. He calls me an acquaintance. Shout out to. Oh, I'm wearing a shirt. Shout
there
out
you
to
go.
Ultimate Kempo Warriors in Deerfield Beach,
KW.
owned by
Great martial art, Kempo.
Alexander Noel Perez. I've known him since 2003. We've been training, and when I
20
met
years.
him, we started training for karate tournaments through USA Sport Karate.
Okay.
At the time, they were Kick USA.
Yeah.
But now it's USA Sport Karate. And in 2006, our first year doing tournament circuits, he was a huge, probably like 95% of the reason why I was state champion
Nice.
for advanced belt 16 to 17 for sparring, fighting, baby. Anyways,
So you will not catch me talking shit to Anthony on this.
yeah. But he's obsessed with Batman. This is like a really cool idea for like a gift. Like, dude, you can make a whole fucking wall.
That's what I'm saying. Like me, if I
and every
man-caved,
episode, dude.
I know I have another.
He's got a man.
Another episode topic we're gonna
garage.
get into when we get into that episode. This is
really
gonna.
cool.
I'm gonna get into this. You know what I'm talking about the what we would spend money on.
Oh, yeah.
That's the type of thing because, dude, like that all that artwork because it's legit.
This is so
cool
beautiful.
artwork, like the Poison Ivy one.
Night of
There's
the
one.
Ninja.
Yeah, I love all the Mr. Freeze ones.
I forgot Bane was in that show too.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
so during I think the last season, dude. That's
Nothing to
a fantastic
fear.
episode. The dream sequence episode.
Yeah.
With Bane.
You know what? My favorite.
Lots of hard. What's ding that what a different like I always hear the Tom Hardy Bane.
He's the best.
That's what I always do. Like if you watch my Instagrams for Fanatically Correct, I always start with "We are mobile" because that's what he was saying when they go mobile. You know, and he's like "We are mobile," but he's because in the comic books he's like a Cuban.
Right.
The pit is like whatever.
In the
Cuba.
comic books,
He's
he was like a
Russian.
refugee or some
and he
shit,
was
and he
actually
got
Russian
captured,
or like,
and then he
Cuban,
got
whatever.
released.
So he has like he speaks like with an accent and
Yeah.
like whatever, like very and then he has the luchador mask. So
Yeah.
he's a mixture of things, but I don't know why they decided with Tom Hardy to make him like
Dude,
steroided.
I love it.
Steroided the Grinch.
baby.
He's
Let's
like
do it,
for
baby.
some reason I'm
Let's
talking,
do it.
That's a lovely,
Tom Hardy can't do anything
lovely
wrong.
voice. It gets worse and worse through the movie though. Like at the very beginning, like when they catch him on the airplane and stuff like that.
What the fuck did this guy say? Because the engine's
Exactly.
rolling too.
Exactly, and then, that's why. But he has like a deeper tone to it, and he's like, he goes, what happens if I take that mask off? It will be
hurt.
painful.
Oh, that's what.
And he goes, oh, you're a big guy, you could take it for you. Like you know what I mean? Like what? Like dude, like and then but then like by the time they're at the stadium blowing it up, which is
Right.
like already like still like the first third
Much
of the
more
film,
different.
and he's like, that is a lovely, lovely voice. and then with the and the scene with Commissioner Gordon,
Yeah.
about the when they're like, do we accept this man's resignation? Like, but what I love, and there's another shout out to another great homework assignment written out on it on Max, the Harley Quinn show.
Oh, the cartoon one?
Yes, dude.
People have been telling me about it. I just haven't done it.
It is fantastic, but they lean so hard on Bane with that.
Oh, really?
So, like, and no one respects him. Like, it's the funniest thing in the world because he has that voice. Shit. And, like, everyone's messaging him, like, I want to.
And there's, like, 2 seasons to that one, right?
2 or 3 already. No, 3 seasons.
Someone was telling me about that show, and I didn't give it the time of day yet.
What I love about it is because we've had so many, like, versions of Batman cartoons already.
Yeah.
Still to this day, no one's beating Batman animated series. That's what we're talking about, and the collections and the
Kevin
figures,
Conroy,
the
baby.
Batmobile, Kevin Conroy, Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, the Joker, like everything, and the original voice of Harley Quinn. I mean,
she just passed
recently too. Yeah,
a month ago.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's still alive. Sorry, but no, Kevin Conroy passed and she
out.
passed, and she's one of the reasons they created the character and then added it to the comic books and everything. But everything about that show is the best. But what I like about them is the first one that's like The Boys, like Misfits, like Gen V, like Spawn, where it's dark, vulgar, but it's those exact characters.
Yep.
And dude, it's Commissioner.
Cartooned.
They shit all over Commissioner Gordon. the version of his character
is Batman in that?
Oh yes,
show?
and they shit on his character
really
too. Like
good.
they everyone's like it's such hyperbole of what they're like. Others they lean in on Batman being like the privileged rich kid.
Oh, okay.
Like even though he's like out for vengeance and everything, he's so like overly prejudiced for being rich that he still does a lot of the wrong shit. But then they like make Dick Grayson like really into himself. Like he's like a total like narcissist like because of his looks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Damien's because Damian Wayne's raised by like
they're doing all those
all of them, dude. It's everything's in that.
Okay,
but it's funny because then the shit with Bane, like there's so much going on. But it's also the Justice League, the Legion of Doom.
Really?
Lex Luthor. Oh, dude, it's a huge giant universe. Clayface is hilarious in it. And that's what I mean.
I'm glad you said Clayface.
Yeah,
they
took the smartest thing from each character and exaggerated what would be negative about this. So like Clayface, what was he before? An actor. Right. So they make them like this pompous Shakespearean wannabe actor. I will have a great character. So a lot of times like, dude, we just need you to look like the guard. He's like, well, my backstory is like, stop, just look like you don't need to have a backstory. And then he'll start like wasting time.
Overly
like, because my
acting.
wife left me, whatever. Like, dude, no one cares about. Just look like him and walk in.
So that's what I was gonna say earlier. Yeah. My favorite character from Batman is Clayface. I love that episode.
The animated series turned characters and villains that I never thought I would have liked. And that's amazing. Like, Mr. Freeze. I love the original, like
it's so heartbreaking.
The Adam West, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that Mr. Freeze is terrible. Like a lot of them are terrible. The Penguin.
The Penguin.
Exactly, but Mr. Freeze, that's mine. So yours Clayface, mine's Mr. Freeze. But because that show, but Clayface is great too. Like the way they personify that character.
What's crazy, what's even better, and I'm glad they're doing it. Rumor is Clayface is going to be the villain in
Batman 2?
In the Batman 2. So originally it was who?
I thought it was going to be Mr.
The Penguin.
And well, no, Penguin. He's going to get his own series. So
right.
Well,
but
what
I
like
in the original, in the new one, what's that guy from
the Batman? Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Well, what I can tell you,
he's supposed to be his villain.
It's smart because what I like what they did right out the gate with that first movie by having the Joker.
Riddler was the end.
Yeah, the Riddler was the main villain of the first one. But what I like is remember they threw the Joker at the end.
Yeah.
Granted, a version of the Joker a lot of people don't like. We've had good Jokers, so let them try a different thing. And I don't think it's terrible. It's just a different alteration.
Yeah, I'm cool, not good.
But
Joker.
what they're going at, there's 2 things in that movie that people don't realize that they did. But I mean, they did realize the Joker one. That was to establish, he's your one Batman. People already exist.
Yeah.
You had Catwoman in that movie. You had Penguin in that movie. Riddler was the main villain.
Joker
already exists. He already had a round with Joker.
Mohan? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
What's the name of the mob boss?
No. Now you got me. I can't remember now. But he was good too.
Yeah.
But they did all that. And the point is that they already showed you there's a rogues gallery. He already has all these villains. Yep. So you already know going into the next movie they're going to do the same. But what I like was they had the Joker to show like, no, he's had villains. Not just Catwoman in this one and this guy who's going to become the Penguin now.
Not some dude on the subway.
Not just dude, no. He's had Joker, right? Like this is a Batman. This is a Batman universe. It already exists. We don't need to get heavy into seeing the pearls again and the whole, you know what I mean? They go right into it. Another thing a lot of people didn't realize they did, when he shot himself up with adrenaline in the dome scene, watch that scene again and see what color that adrenaline is. It's not adrenaline. It's venom.
No shit.
From Bane.
No shit.
Doesn't mean they're going to bring in Bane. It's just a world where that exists already.
Yeah.
So the point is that they can literally bring anybody in. And that's the thing. What I liked about the Venom was like, okay, this was a grounded movie where they didn't go too far with the...
I could believe somebody doing this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they already did like, okay, we made it more grounded, but we already gave hints of Venom, come on, that's crazy. It
We
turns
do
this guy
crazy
super rare.
shit.
So
Yeah.
there's already crazy shit in this universe. So by doing that, bringing in a Clayface, okay, it can be done. Now, will they make him the CGI monsters Clayface? Maybe not. They might make it more simplified where it's just like the torso or just
Right.
the face, and he can only get so big, but it makes him super strong. They
Right.
might go that, or, which would be cool, the full-on Clayface. Because
Yeah.
one of the best moves he always does on anybody is pull them into him.
Yes.
Like, no, fuck you. like,
Yeah,
get out.
You're me now.
Yeah, like, now get out. You know, like it's
Yeah.
genius. But yeah, he's a great villain too. But that's what I love about Batman animated series. Like, there is no bad villains.
Right.
Like, they took the freaking puppeteer guy and made that.
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
car
yeah.
face. Like, hey, you know, like, bro,
So
they made
good.
that fantastic.
I'm glad to. I notice these things.
So I'm
like, I remember
once they
all
make
this
once
stuff.
McFarlane makes the Batmobile, I'm done. Like, that's take my money. Because that Cycle's about to take my money.
Have you ever heard of Condiment King? Condiment, like ketchup, mustard.
Yeah.
So he's the Build-A-Figure for these animated versions.
For these?
I don't remember him. Yeah,
Condiment
He's the.
Fuck is that one?
I fucking totally.
I gotta rewatch me some Batman animated series. I don't remember this guy.
Condiment
Holy
King. I don't know. Maybe he squirts fucking vinegar in Batman's eyes.
That is so funny. I think he's the one that he gets the big bazooka, like at the end. Like, other words, he's like a joke villain of the week.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, we learn from Across the Spider-Verse, never take for granted a villain of the week. That's what's so genius about that storyline. Like,
Yeah.
dude, don't take anybody,
Yep.
underestimate anybody who has a reason to commit crime and
Yep.
cause mayhem. But yeah, he is kind of like
Condiment
the joke,
King.
like villain that almost got him.
Condiment King.
Yeah, I think he hits him with a pie or something like that.
Either way, dude.
And he actually gets him. Like, if it would have been a rocket, I think that's what they did at the end. He shoots him, and it ends up being like a big pie gun. And he just wanted to, like, hit him with a pie, like, you son of a bitch, you ruined my day, type of thing. So you do this together. And it was like, dude, if he actually would have had a rocket, he would have killed Batman.
Yeah.
He would have killed Batman. So it's one of those. It's funny because it's kind of a nod at a less.
I like it.
But dude, look at Calendar Man. They made that guy.
Calendar Man, yeah,
They
dude.
made him vicious.
It's
like-
kind of like DC with Polka Dot Man.
Yes,
When they
exactly.
put him in Suicide Squad 2, he's like, who the fuck is... And they made fun of him, and then he's like...
But he still has some
he
great
does
powers.
his polka dot shit, and he fucking completely disintegrates
I
somebody.
will tell you that's the coolest thing, and I think writers, especially on these shows, that's what it is. I think they like those challenges, man. They like
Yeah.
that challenge of
Really
like,
shithead.
here's a shit villain, here's a shit power, make it cool.
Like Lactose
But
Man.
the thing is, exactly like lactogenesis, and I don't say but it usually works for villains. It's hard to make it work for the hero, but it can be done. That's
Yeah.
why back to Gen V with the blood work, like that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna get more and more serious what she's gonna be able to do with that
I
power.
think that's gonna be really cool. It reminds me of from The Boys. Who's the senator or congresswoman?
Yeah, that she just blows
That she
people
just
up
blows
from the
up.
inside.
I wonder. My understanding
She's the
is
most.
her
She's right
part-
now is probably the most dangerous villain.
I don't understand why she doesn't just.
Because I don't
pop
think she has to be in the
fucking
room.
Homelander's
I think that's what they
head.
showed at the end. Like, she didn't have to be in the same room.
She just has to see you.
She just has to see.
She has to see you. So I don't
It can
understand
be
why
on
she
camera.
doesn't. I don't understand why the fuck she doesn't just
If
pop
I rule the
Homelander's
world,
head.
she can take over the world because she's using them for now. But they had stuff on.
The
her.
guy's
But remember,
sociopath.
they had stuff on her with the daughter or whatever.
Oh yes,
That's why I asked. So that's
and the father is.
dude. That guy Esposito, like the
He's a
villain
man.
in every show,
He's a
in
man.
everything.
He's never gonna be the hero.
Bro,
He was in video games, TV
Dude, he's the
shows,
best.
movies, Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. He was
Dude,
fucking.
he's in
amazing.
everything. He always
Breaking Bad wasn't even a breakout. I mean, it was his, I guess,
Yeah.
really big breakout. But
Yeah,
he's
Franz.
been doing shit.
Better
for
Call Saul,
fucking
yeah.
years, dude.
When he
Better
was
Call
younger, he
Saul
wasn't like
amazing.
the villain. But then, like, as soon as he hit Breaking Bad, he was like the villain in
The
everything, and they're
fucking
still
man.
milking it.
I didn't realize he was introduced in like season 2.
No, 3, I think.
I'm pretty sure it was season 2.
Was it 2? Might
He
have been
was-
2.
He was shockingly early.
I forget how many episodes. There's like 12 to, like a lot of episodes
Yeah,
per
there's like-
season in Breaking Bad. At least 12.
16. Some. I mean,
Yeah.
I have the
I almost
whole
feel like
fucking
it's
power of
20.
the universe.
Yeah,
right
I know.
here, and I'm not gonna look. But
Off the top of her head. It
he
ruins
did really
conversation.
that whole thing was really good, and it would be really interesting to see him play.
How
like
many action figures of that guy?
villain.
That guy got merch. Like, so,
Yeah.
so let's see, like, a little secret, and this is great because it works with the collectibles and all that. For events, obviously, when you're having, like, celebrity appearances and things like that to bring them in, that's kind of like the big litmus test is that they got merch.
Yeah.
And that, like, others, they've done a character that has that
Draw.
in other words, enough draw and fandom that a company chose to get a licensing and
Right.
spend money
Let me
making
make-
an action figure or a pop or
How
whatever.
cool would it be if NECA makes a fucking Breaking Bad
Yes.
toy line?
They do. I mean, I don't know if NECA has it, but I believe McFarlane does.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure McFarlane has a Breaking Bad. See if he has one. But I say he's gotta. I bet you he has a Breaking Bad one. Yeah, check it out. He's gotta have a Breaking Bad one. For sure, I've already seen it. He has the Star Wars, the Black Series. The Star Wars ones.
They have Funko Pops.
Oh, for sure, Funko of them too. Yeah, but Funko, that's the easy one.
Mezco.
That's who makes that one?
Some. Yeah.
Yeah. I know they have breaking because I know they have the ones with the yellow suits, the hazmat suits.
Yeah, it's Mezco.
But I don't know if they have one of him. I know they have one of Walter White.
They have Walter White. Oh, yeah, they do.
Jesse. They do have him?
Mm-hmm. Gus Fring.
There you go.
50 fucking bucks, Mezco.
So for sure he has that.
Get shit together.
For sure he has the Moff Gideon and Mandalorian. Let me see.
Comes with fucking the chicken tub. With
Pollos hermanos.
That's so
or hermanos pollos.
Hermanos pollos.
Oh, but they don't have a changeable head where half his face is blown off.
Dude, that would be awesome.
He's the original TV.
That's what I say, man. I think NECA should do that. They do such a good job.
That would be awesome. So I was surprised. I thought it would have been McFarlane.
Oh no, the box has it. It's the box design. $50, dude. Get your price points in check. You guys.
Murder. But yeah, so that guy has to have so much merch. It's got to be insane. But
I wonder how much he cost for a signature.
Him?
Yeah.
I don't know. He just did recently in the Florida area. I think it was Tampa Bay Comic-Con.
I think so.
I think he was over there. So, but he's going to be up there.
Yeah, he's got to be.
We'll see what happens now that it might cool down a bit after the strike. I think a lot of people. I mean, The Rock was back in the WWE. People were doing these to round some bucks during the strike, but at least he was investing, donating to the.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead. What are you tell me?
No one's gonna like this.
Do I need to edit this out? Or
No. You might not like this.
Uh-oh.
I know a lot of people that support my theory on this,
okay.
and I know a lot of people that are off on this. And if Dwayne The Rock Johnson ever hears this, I'm fucked.
I love you, Rock.
My business is fucked. I think there's some secrets behind Dwayne The Rock Johnson that just hasn't come out yet. I think he is our generation's, and I don't mean this as a literal comparison. I think he's our generation's Bill Cosby.
No,
I think I'm not saying, and I am not accusing this
not
man.
that specifically.
I am not accusing this man of doing the things that Bill Cosby did.
Things that he wouldn't be proud of. People are like, no way, The Rock did that type of thing.
I think, dude, America's first African American dad. He was a doctor. Heathcliff Huxtable. He raised all those kids. He was like this big comedian. He did so much good. Hang on, I'm gonna go on this rant. He went on this huge late 70s, 80s, knocking into the 90s, and then eventually all these women came out. I am not saying that's what The Rock did. I'm just saying I feel like, with little to no evidence, I feel like he's got something that's clamoring back behind some doors, like that I think will reveal in like 20, 30 years. I think like someone's going to come out and be like, hey man, he demolished my grandma's house so he could have a bigger basketball. Like something like that. Like there's something. I'm not saying this dude's a murderer. I'm not saying this guy's drugging people. I'm not saying he's harassing or sexually touching. I'm not saying any of that.
There's something, because I think, and that's just something in general, and I think actually it's almost like a Michael Jordan, and I think a lot of people they do know this. It's just that he's good at not displaying that on camera or whatever. I do think he's probably someone who's very ruthless business-wise.
He's got to be.
And there's the proof was what happened with Black Adam and DC and how that turned.
Another one is
Fast
trash. And the Furious. He was like, I need to be the fucking dude. That's what I'm saying. So I really feel that what he is very business ruthless. So something to the effect of like crush someone else's business. Like maybe I worked with Vin Diesel. I'm not saying this happened to Vin Diesel. I'm not saying this is true, but like, hey, I worked with Vin Diesel, and because I didn't comply to The Rock, my career as Vin Diesel went down the fucking
that's
drain.
what Brendan Fraser was coming out with, and that's what he said, that he was specifically crushed out. And I think that there might be some hyperbole to certain things, and of course everybody wants someone to blame for something else and doesn't take their own accountability, but if there's anything, it's going to be something along those lines where, like, he took some woman's business or crushed some, like you said, bulldozed some lady's house.
Yeah, dude, I ran over my puppy and gave me $1 million.
I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, I think that there's a ruthlessness, to his success, most likely. And if it's something like that, that's possible.
He's got really good intentions. Yeah. He has been a very positive influence. So shout out to to the good things. I just feel like
he weighs out the bad with the good.
So many. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the thing.
And as long as it's not something that's so bad that no good is gonna, like Bill Cosby. It's so bad, no good's gonna. Is
it a guilty conscience?
Yeah.
Like, are you buying these things? Are you doing that? Like, I'll give you a really good example. When the Maui fires happened, and him and Oprah got together, and they said, "Hey, we started this fund. We put, I don't know, $1 million, $10 million, whatever."
Well, remember, he has bloodlines into Hawaii and stuff like that.
So again, a good intent. Yeah. The reaction to everyday people that live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
probably
Oh, yeah.
similarly to us. It's like, why the fuck are you asking me for money, bro? You did $1 billion in box office.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just donate and buy all this?
Yourself,
you know?
yeah.
And it's not his
I agree.
responsibility. It's not Oprah's responsibility. I think their intentions were really good.
Yeah, you just put yourself in the shoe that if you were them and had their funds, like, this is what I would do.
Yeah, dude, I would fucking donate.
Well, he did do it with the actors.
Actors too. He put in more money than anyone else. But
and
again,
that's kind of why I felt he went back to WWE. Is like to
make some more money,
to make more money to help that. It's like, hey, while
just
they're
dropped $10 million, I gotta fucking
I got. Well, not just that, probably to put more into it. Like, otherwise, I'm gonna work.
That's a good point too.
More into to force.
Again, I have no proof. I have no text message from The Rock's old neighbor or some shit. I'm just saying it. It seems like he might be the guy.
Johnson collectibles do you saw on your site? Yeah, we got
none, dude. None.
And you'll never get one signed now either. I love them both there. I love that. He was a great heel.
He's a good guy.
He's a good villain. Great villain.
Again, I feel like something's gonna pop up in 20 years and be like, hey,
it's
man,
possible.
You remember me? Some guy's gonna come up there and be like, hey, dude, I was like your towel boy, and you used to wipe your shit on the towel and then throw it on my face, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like some crazy.
Doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah, and it's gonna be so incidental. I'm just telling you, some sort of scandal is gonna come up.
I'm gonna get texts on my phone's gonna blow up from Anthony. You see?
Dude, there's gonna be so many comments when we clip
this.
this.
Oh no, done. I'm turning the comments off. We're turning the comments off.
Yeah, no one's gonna like this. They're gonna share the shit of it. Be like, fat
clip,
Latino veteran attacks Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
This clip not getting used.
Yeah, again, I want to emphasize this. I'm not saying that he's drugging anyone or doing anything to that extreme. I don't think he's a shitty person. I just think there's something that just got tucked away
that he ain't happy with.
I just need to know, dude.
So how we get this far off the rails? So like I said, he was back in WWE.
Oh yeah, good for him. He can people elbow all day.
But yeah, so actually back in the toy, how we looking? We'll do like 10 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Pull up because they had like best. I've seen they do things like best marketing, best build toy. I think best build was like the Lego set from Up. But I wanted to bring up because like I think it's
what am I searching?
I don't. Do they have like on their site? Do they say like all the stuff that they give awards to? Because I guess they give awards to
at the
toy manufacturers. Yeah, at the Toy Fair in New York.
I can look it up real quick. Toy Fair 2023.
Is that something?
I had no idea this existed, by the way.
Oh, really? So yeah,
until like the last 3
days. Yeah, same thing. I just saw on Instagram.
Okay, construction toy of the year is Lego, Disney, and Pixar Up House.
So they did have like awards.
Doll of the year, Barbie the movie by Mattel. Good job for Barbie.
Of course.
Ink Grow Up Toy of the Year was Lego Lord of the Rings. Oh, good for Lego.
They call it Grown Up Toy of the Year. Oh, Build.
Yeah, I clicked into the link.
I think it was a Build. So okay, get back out of there.
Okay, all right. I got the whole list. Pay attention, people. I'm only going through this once. Oh, fuck yeah. Action figure
That's the one I
of
wanted
the
to get
year,
to.
baby. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem by Playmates
There
Toys.
we go.
Let's fucking go, baby!
Is it any specific one or just the line?
I guess it's the line. Action figure of the line. It just says by Playmates Toys. So, collectible of the year, Squishmallows Pokemon collection. Oh, I guess it's those stuffy pillows.
Ones, yeah.
Construction toy of the year was your Up.
The Up. Disney.
Creative toy of the year was National Geographic Hobby Pottery Wheel by Blue Marble.
That's a fucking mouthful.
Doll of the year, Barbie. Game of the year, 5-second rule relay.
Oh, like board game. I never heard of that game.
I don't know, but I'm going to Google it.
It has to be like board game. It's a toy place.
It's game of the year. I think of video games.
It shouldn't be video games.
No, it is a
board game.
regular, not a board game, but it's like a family game.
Like a game you play.
All right, grown up toy of the year, Lego Lord of the Rings.
That's grown up toy of the year.
Grown up.
All around.
Grown up toy of the year.
Okay.
It ain't being Ninja Turtles, dog.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's what I was like. That should have been a double dipper.
License of the year, Barbie. Dude, that movie did over $1 billion. Good for them.
They covered the Flash's nut, the Blue Beetle's nut, and its own nut. That's how much money it made. It made so much money. In other words, it covered all.
Who's nutting on what?
In other words, it covered what? Because remember,
the
Flash
failures.
lost money.
Flash lost money.
Blue Beetle lost money. But
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I saw Blue Beetle.
As a Latino or as a fan of the?
As a DC fan. I'm Cuban, so I don't exactly relate specifically to the Mexican culture. But I mean, we have some similarities. There's a lot of similarities, but you could do that to anyone. You could say about things about family, like Jewish families, Italian family. A lot of things have family. As a DC fan, I watched it. I don't think it was a terrible film. I don't think it was a great film. I think they did a lot of things, and I'll kind of wrap this up quick. But I think that there was they made the mistake with Shazam out the gate, and this is why I'm bringing this up. From the Shazam that I know, and from the comic books that I read when I was younger, and from the animated series Young Justice, fantastic animated series. Shazam is mom and dad. He's not the orphan. He's not the foster home system. He's actually the one with the mom and dad. He's just young and all that. Blue Beetle's the one that's from a foster home with no parents, and it's about the community of the group of kids and all that. But
he's got a family in the movie, right?
Exactly.
Like grandma, grandpa,
so since
dad.
they did the foster thing in Shazam, they decided to change the storyline of Blue Beetle to make him family, so they can make it like a family film and the culture and all that. And I get it because the character is a predominant Latin. Character and Hispanic, and he's actually Mexican, I believe, in the comic books, and they made him Mexican.
Mexican in the movie too.
And the actor I think is Ecuadorian.
Good job, James.
Yeah, no, but he I love him in Cobra Kai. I love Cobra Kai. That's one of my favorite shows. But so when they cast him, I was actually happy about it. But they actually they Americanized him heavy, because in the cartoon, and from what in my head sounded like in the comic books, he was actually like came here when he was younger.
Got it.
So he already spoke with an accent.
Okay.
So they made him like he was born and raised in America and has an American accent and speaks English later. No, he actually has an accent in the animated series and in the comic books. Well, I mean, in your head, because they they don't write it like as an accent, but you take it knowing his backstory. So when they did Young Justice, they made him have an accent, and I love that he has that accent, and because then you really relate to him as a Latin Hispanic character. And what they did was instead took that and gave it to the family.
I'm going to pause you right there. I'm going to take a piss break.
Again, you can catch us, ramfamcollectibles.com, and that'll take you all to his social media handles and everything like that too. That's our host, Anthony, from RamFam. And then I am Omega with Fanatically Correct. And, of course, Fanatically Correct, you can go to linktr.ee/fancorrect. That'll take you to our link tree and get you all the wonderful links to our Instagram, Twitter, all our previous episodes. That's an important thing. To get to our previous episodes, in-studio panels from different Comic-Cons and events that we do in the South Florida area. So if you're in the South Florida area, always check out things like Flynn's Arcade and more. Always doing events with them. We have some events coming up. Check out our panels from Sunrise Comic-Con. Check out our panels from SuperCon. A lot of good times, a lot of fun doing the panel Q&A episodes, as well as the audience interaction and participation episodes. And then, of course, our Instagram at FanCorrect. Most of us at FanCorrect. You can get our Gmail as well. Send us an email and all that good stuff. We have our YouTube channel, so we have some episodes in studio as well as live panel videos for some of them, but also just our podcast episodes, just the audio, also available on YouTube, and of course wherever you get your podcast. That's the coffee diet. You know what it is? That's coffee followed by beer. Not the best kind of. You just beat me and everything.
That's right. So I'm sorry. So Latin family.
Yeah. So I was saying, like that's my. I get why they did it, because they wanted to go into like the Latin culture instead of just giving it to the one character,
which I think is cool, because we don't have any.
Well,
not that I think we need representation.
I'm gonna
we don't have any representation.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but there is, and it's actually a Mexican superhero comedy cartoon character that they go into. That was so shocked that they had it in the movie, and that's like a big, like, Cubans love that, Puerto Ricans love that. It's such, especially in South Florida area, the Latin culture. It's a big Chapulín. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. It's like it's the old man with the bug costume and the mallet, and they just really got into that and did a post credit with that as well. That was hilarious, and it was surprising. But it's just the whole unfortunate DC conundrum going on. What's gonna stay? What's gonna not?
As of September,
how much did it lose?
September 22nd, Blue Beetle has grossed $68.4 million in the U.S. and Canada.
Cost like $200 million to make.
$53 million in all other So they only did $121.5 million.
Yeah, so they still haven't covered its budget, but
therefore the movie has made a bit more than. So it made $100 million before marketing and promotion. So let's try losses.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was a loss. I'm pretty sure that one was a loss, and Shazam
Barbie
was
made
a loss.
so much,
dude.
And that's why they got. That's what I'm saying. Go to the Toy Fair thing. They gave them the award for marketing. Like, no kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding, because they marketed so well. The phenomenally created that. As it was selling tickets, as it kept every weekend crushing it, they were already saying it. Yeah, of course.
208 million is what they needed. They only
to cover it.
They only did 100 before.
And the Flash did the same thing. But as soon as Barbie started breaking all the records, they said it is on pace. Number one, not only to already, because that's its first goal, is to cover itself. Not only to cover itself, it's already covering the losses from the Flash, and will cover any anticipated losses for Blue Beetle. Now it has gone beyond that. They can literally lose on the next couple of films as well.
But doesn't that reflect really negatively for James Gunn? So this is the dude
those weren't his, but he unfortunately, I don't know.
Whoa. I thought he green-lighted and was like, yeah, go ahead.
He did green-light it,
because that was supposed to be the first one of his new multiverse,
I feel,
or whatever he calls it.
He's not doing a great job. And me and on a side note, me and Jake Lugu saw Gen V together, and if you check out his stuff, he probably gets more in depth about this. But James Gunn's not doing a very good job of staying off of social media and not saying things.
Dude, this guy's...
So I think a lot of people are
He's having fucking conversations with YouTubers.
Yeah, exactly. Not smart. Why is he directing, engaging people? And he should just not. But he's not. He's like, other words, Feige don't do that. And there's a reason Feige don't do that.
Yeah, dude.
You have your plan, and that's it. And the thing is, by him doing this, like it shows that your plan's not very secure, and that you don't have. But I feel it's like, but we know why. It's like you went into this. We know why, because DC and Warner Brothers, those studios in combination, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So we know for a fact that getting you is not going to fix the problems,
right,
which is the hope that they made it look like it was going to be.
Right.
And it's not. They're probably still in his ear and telling him this, telling that, and you already see it. He's keeping the kid from Blue Beetle, even though they lost money.
They're keeping Harley Quinn.
He's keeping that's smart because she just proved it with Barbie. She makes the money. Dude. And whatever dollars Suicide Squad did make, but now The Suicide was fantastic. I mean, I thought it was a great movie.
I love that movie. I don't know why I didn't do so good.
Peacemaker. Fantastic
Peacemaker
series.
was amazing, too. Who doesn't want to see John Cena plow through an alien?
Makes sense. But then don't nitpick. We're going to keep Aquaman and Gal Gadot, but not Henry Cavill, even though we just got him back. And, like, dude, it's all
Black
over the
Adam
place.
just got axed. I liked the movie. Yeah. I knew it wasn't going to be a cinematic blowout, but I liked it.
I think the biggest waste in that movie, I mean, not waste
Hawkeye
that now
was amazing. Dr. Fate was amazing.
What was great in that movie was everything but Black Adam, but specifically the Vision. I mean, not the Vision. Sorry,
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate was, and great casting.
Yeah.
Perfect. The suit, the actor, everything about the character. And then like just
Adam was great. That girl.
Yes, Adam Crusher or whatever I think it is.
Adam Smasher.
Yeah, Adam Smasher. Yeah.
So real quick,
but you know what I mean? Like, there's no skin in the game.
Yeah.
It's because Marvel exists. DC doesn't have a choice, and I hate to say that, but like Image, like Spawn, they can do just Spawn and Spawn you, and that whatever else Image has, they don't got to bring it in. They don't have to do it. Not everyone, and that's what's sad. A lot of people are trying to do the universe.
Right.
For some people, it'll work, but you don't have to do it.
Right.
But DC, they're screwed. They have to do it. They have to do it. They don't get to just like, we're just going to do one-offs like it's the 80s and the 90s. Like, no, Marvel's a thing now. You're the other big thing. Everyone wants to see a shared universe in that, but a cohesive one. Mm-hmm. And they've just kept bad job after bad job after bad job. And the only things I think that would save DC and Gunn to an extent is Barbie.
Yeah.
And that goes to the marketing campaign. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie.
Barbie?
But it's not, I
thought it was a good movie.
But it's not that.
No.
But I'm material now, and people are arguing, like, I promise you it's going to happen, even though it doesn't deserve them, and most likely it shouldn't win any. It's going to get a bunch of Oscar nominations.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's going to get Best Writing, Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best
Director.
Something. And it'll win a couple of things. I bet Stickets that Billie, which my co-host Yo Peace ruined her for me, that Billie Eilish she's going to win for Best Song. Because, they have a Best Song for movie or whatever. But I can't believe I'm saying this podcast. He should say it, but it's glass shattering. It ruined it for me. He calls her Breathy Eilish.
What?
But especially for that, because that song, it's heavy. She says, what was it? But every song she does it.
Once you it's like
that
seeing
song
someone
she's doing
saying
on purpose. Yeah, exactly.
And then that's all of a sudden that's all you hear.
And she's every song, the bad guy, like. And I called him in. I'm like, dude, you ruined every song. He's like, good. That's what good friends do.
And we just ruined Billy for you all.
I know. Breathy Island. But yeah, that's Yo Pieces. It's hilarious. But I bet she wins. Like that's for sure. But that's not really a reflection of the movie.
Right.
I think it is because that song actually is what the movie's about. Like all the lyrics in that song is the movie. But it's a good movie. But what made it the phenomenon is the marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And then taking out Oppenheimer and making it Barbieheimer, which helped them too. Which I love Oppenheimer. I think it's a fantastic.
I saw them. Oscars. 2 days back to back, Saturday, Sunday.
I saw him next day. Yeah, same day. I saw one day, one the next.
As soon as I heard of one, I heard of the other one.
And the proper order is Oppenheimer and then Barbie, because if not, you just like a depressing week after Oppenheimer.
Well, we did Barbie first just because of the time.
Yeah.
But I agree. I'd rather have had Oppenheimer first.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that Oppenheimer is a bad or necessarily a depressing movie.
It is. Well, it's an affecting movie.
Yes.
It's a thought-provoking film, and I'd rather just be, hey,
that's the point, right? Like, like it's just Barbie is naturally so ippity
optimistic,
and
it's an optimistic,
happy. Everything's perfect. That it naturally.
Yeah.
Other side of the coin
is
is you're down.
You always want to do this.
Right.
You don't want, but it's a great movie. I mean, it is. But the marketing campaign did that. Geniuses. They did the whole make them watch them both together, and now they're doing the IMAX release. Like that movie doesn't really require IMAX viewing, but there's people going to do it because they're going to again dress all up in pink and all go. And I'll tell you, like, would really save a lot of stuff. And I think probably a lot that was going to affect James Gunn in the DC universe is that Barbie made so much money, and I think that these other films, and we're gonna see what happens with Aquaman 2. I think Aquaman 2 will do better than
number one did $1 billion. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But again, DC's losing ground. I think it will do better than Flash did or Blue Beetle. But I still think it's not gonna do what they were hoping to make. Although it's not going to make the $1 billion like the first one. It's not. It's not.
They need a winner.
But yeah, I mean, there's things about it that look really cool, but then there's things about like it's the DC thing.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan. I like Jason Momoa. He's a fantastic actor. In other things, you know what I mean. I think his version of Aquaman, and that's just what they went with. You know, it's like Jared Leto. I like Jared Leto as an actor. A lot of people don't, but I do. I didn't like that Joker.
No thanks, Joker.
But yeah, I don't hate that Joker, but I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I think that's the same thing. I just think that version of Aquaman, the Yahoo, yeehaw, like Aquaman's like, that's not my Aquaman. You know what I mean? But, for a younger generation, whatever, it works for them. Right. We'll see. I mean, definitely fits the build of, again, not of the original Aquaman. No one's making movies about that. The blonde,
muscular,
even though they managed to work in the original suit on him, like, yeah, it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, once Justice League Unlimited, and Young Justice and all that, especially when he has the hand, the trident hand, because he loses a hand.
Awesome.
They did
that's a different version, though. That's like an older Aquaman.
Yeah, but that's kind of what he is. He's just the dark-haired version of him because he's blonde, but he has the long hair with the long, with the long goatee and all that. And so, it should do all right. But yeah, the one thing I will give Blue Beetle, there was a lot of cool effects in it. I like the suit.
Did it remind you of Iron Man?
Yes, a lot. And I had a bad feeling they were going to do that. And I was hoping that they wouldn't because Iron Man already did it. I think how the way Young Justice, and I think that's the biggest problem. Directors and producers and writers don't want to admit someone else did something great. So they try to make their own version of it or their own thing. And they don't want to emulate. And it's like, even though they okay, so you're stealing from something else, it's because this person didn't do it with this. Yeah. Someone still did this with something else. And that's what you say, like the Iron Man, his face in the helmet with the lights. Like they pretty much did that.
Which you have to do it like that, which is understandable.
And what I like, and this is, again, I think they missed marks of what probably would have intrigued people more into that movie, was they swapped out the gender of the Scarab and made it a female voice instead of a male voice, which is what made it sound even more like Iron Man, because the last half of Iron Man, when he switches to, Friday? Yeah, to Friday, it's like that he has a female voice in his head. And then on top of that, in the helmet, but the Scarab, actually, it's almost like an inner reflection of himself. So the Scarab has an accent because he has an accent. So it speaks back to him in English with a Mexican accent. Yeah. And then on top of it, it's a male, because, again, it's an inner reflection of himself. So like the Scarab doesn't speak English or whatever, so the closest thing it would have to is what it gets from him. Yeah. So it speaks to him, and it's in his head. And that's what I like. Like, instead of showing, and that's the thing, like, unlike Iron Man, it animates where his mouth can move and stuff. Like, it shouldn't be him in the
a mask.
Thing when it grips on the jaw, and it goes in, so he can actually talk and everything. So it's really just see him talking to himself. And what's cool about it is that because he's young and inexperienced, he's not the best at talking in his head. So he has to like whisper to himself, like, no, don't say that. And like all times I'm telling, because the Scarab's like a war destruction thing that he's trying to haul in. And that's what I think. That's another thing they did in this movie. They too quickly made him be able, the cool thing about Jaime through most of the comic books and Blue Beetle and Young Justice, like that, is the inner battle to not do the things that the Scarab's like, dude, let's just kill these guys. You know what I mean? Like this, and not in an automated way. Right. It's actually like a personality. Yeah. Where this one does it like destroy all things, and they okay, because it's automated, so it's emotionless. Like, no. Right. This thing is like, it's a world destroying thing. So that's what it wants. That's its AI. Its AI is like kill things, destroy things. That's its consciousness. You know what I mean? And then you take it on and you're like, no, I'm not that. And like, but we don't kill. And like, hi, man, like so quickly we don't kill. Like, nah, dude, it should have been like 3 movies before that. Like, they could have really worked with that of him as a hero. Granted, he masters more and more his use of the suit and the weapons like that, but the inner battle of fighting with the thing that gives him the power. Like, no, I'm not doing that. We can't do it. And then like saying things like we should just kill him. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, and
almost knocking on the door like an anti-hero.
Exactly.
I think it would have been really cool. Yeah.
Well, and that's what's the coolest thing in Young, spoiler alerts, but check out Young Justice. They get into a whole season of that, of when the Scarabs come to infiltrate and like invade Earth, and what his purpose ends up being and what happens. And that he loses that battle for a while
Yeah.
and becomes something else until he's able to get out of it. But that thing is a very powerful weapon. It's a very powerful tool, and you gotta look at it that way. Is you give him a reason, and they touched on it in the movie. That's what I'm saying. They did too much in one movie,
Yeah.
and that's why I didn't feel like they intended to make sequels or an ongoing part of a universe or whatever. Because really, they could just like leave it there. They don't have to make a part 2 or 3. It feels like one of those '90s standalones,
Yeah.
which weren't bad. But again, like I said, Marvel exists now, so for DC,
gotta be very different.
they can't get away with it.
What sucks is there's no answer. Like James Gunn, what was it, December of last shit? So 10 months ago, he released like what he wants to do. The Commandos, Superman Legacy. I think Batman. He was going to keep.
See, and even
the Batman.
the only thing I
separate.
say I feel good about Superman Legacy with is that, and we'll see how many he gets. Because one fear and one theory could be he's doing so much because he's not going to get more movies. He's going to make Legacy and then back to the drawing board again.
Legacy's him directing it.
Exactly.
Like, he's got a lot of fucking
But what he's
skin
doing in it, there's going to be Green Lantern. There's going to be Hawkgirl. It's already
Beautiful.
all these people being
It's like
casted
Justice.
in. So the thing with that one, like Black Adam did, where they brought in the Justice Society. The Justice Society.
The Justice
Yeah,
Society.
but as I was saying, they had Black Adam and then had all these other characters in this universe as opposed to just giving him his own movie. Same thing. They're not giving Superman his own movie. He'll be the main story and everything. But you could look at it two ways. You could look at it as one, he doesn't really feel he's going to get more chances, so he's going to throw everything into this movie.
Yeah.
Or B, and this is, it could be both though. Both things can be true. Like the Batman, we're not going to see Krypton blow up. We're not going to see him. They might reference it, or maybe a small flashback here and there. But the whole destruction of Krypton, the whole landing on Earth, the whole being adopted, nah, he's already Superman.
Yeah, we know that story.
Exactly.
I don't need a...
And not only is he already Superman, there's already a Green Lantern, and then this is just a story of a young Superman, and this particular, just like about Batman, the Batman. It's year one Batman. He's already Batman. There's already villains. Here's the Riddler.
Yeah, this is how he's whooping their ass.
And just one scenario
Right.
of the Batman, and just get into it. And that's the one. And I think that is, but it could also be true that he's doing it because he's probably not going to get more movies because DC's is falling apart, and he doesn't want to let on to that.
I don't know how.
And rather bold-faced lie. Exactly. Well, it truly needs a clean slate at this point.
He's doing, I think, the Commandos, whatever.
That should be cool.
That's animated though.
Yeah.
And that is still crossing into the cinematic universe he's building.
Well,
I don't understand.
it's like Marvel doing it. At What If is animated, and that affects the rest. It is actually.
It affects what?
It affects the Marvel universe.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
What fucking Marvel universe did it affect?
It's part of the multiverse.
When do you have a reference of that in the cinematic universe thus far?
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Where?
And Loki in the series Loki.
Where?
It had the what you call it? Was it the zombie? No, because the Doctor Strange wasn't a zombie Doctor Strange. I mean, in general, it just references alternate realities.
I don't think you have to watch What If.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, so let me
complements.
rephrase this.
Yeah,
Let me rephrase this.
it's not a required.
In the phases, I think they still call them.
Yeah, it's
in
not
the phases
it's
and
not
in the sagas.
needed.
You don't have to.
No,
watch
you
it.
don't have to. It's a compliment. It's just complimenting and reinforcing the fact of what they're pushing on now, the multiverse of like Spider, the
Spider-Verse,
but No Way Home, you know what I mean, with the multiple Spider-Man.
But it's not
Doctor Strange and Loki.
You have to watch She-Hulk to revisit where Daredevil is.
Yes.
You have to watch
There's no
Wars to see that Nick Fury came
There's
back.
no specific requirement. It's just the re-emphasis of these other universes exist.
But that's my point.
Now,
There's
the only
no
other thing I think is big is I think at some point we get the Watcher. I think that's important.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think
very important.
Well, we're gonna, because we're gonna get Secret Wars.
Yes.
That's not even now.
that's perfect.
So we know we're gonna get the Watcher. Yeah.
But my point is that being an animated cartoon, let's call it, does not flow
specifically.
into, So, but
it
James
does more
Gunn
because they
sounds
use,
like
but they use the
it is
voices.
important.
Like, that's what's cool. They use most of the voices from the movies.
Yes,
play those characters.
I agree.
So that was a huge deal.
But for James Gunn's universe,
in fairness,
how the fuck is he going to mash these together?
What If actually showed, in fairness, they did, in Multiverse of Madness, the Captain Britain. That was from What If.
But that's not the same lady. It just happens to be the same character.
Yeah, it's the same Captain Britain. We were introduced to Captain Britain already. Well, I don't know that because they didn't get specific as to that if that's the universe she ended up in. Well, no, she's not because
died.
In that universe, who was Captain Marvel in that universe? They never showed who Captain Marvel was. They showed someone with Nick Fury when she arrived in that universe. and she knew it wasn't her universe. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because remember, What If they end up having bringing back Killmonger? How that season ended?
Yep.
He brought back all of them.
Killmonger,
Doctor
Thor.
Strange. Oh, no. Doctor Strange. That Doctor Strange was in it.
And what?
The evil Doctor Strange.
It's not the same guy.
Yeah, the one at the end.
It's not the same guy.
Wasn't it? The one that's trapped in the... Oh, no, it wasn't. It's not the same Doctor
the same
Strange.
guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not... It's just a reinforcement. Yeah, so what I just said earlier. It's just a reinforcement of these other characters they used and, and just pushing on the multiverse. A lot of people were... a lot of people liked What If because they're each standalone episodes. I think there was a lot more dislike for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think so. And they had dropped the ball on that, but all of that's going to pay off in Deadpool 3. I'm going to tell you, Deadpool 3, collectibles wise, I like going back to your thing, but collectibles wise, Deadpool 3 and Secret Wars. Luckily, Secret Wars further down the line, but there's going to be because there's going to be so many niche collectibles that come out of that.
Yeah.
Because number one, you're going to want to see. Now, finally, that Wolverine, that suit. And the thing is that now that some of these collectible companies make them, accurate with the face and they scan them to make the toys and everything, and they do a good job, we're going to get that, finally, a figure of Hugh Jackman in that Wolverine suit.
And it's going to be yellow.
But then we're also going to get, like, Kyle Urban. That's pretty much kind of confirmed that he's going to be a version of Wolverine.
Really?
Yeah.
Kyle Urban?
Kyle Urban.
Sports
from
guy?
The Boys. No, Kyle... from
I'm thinking
the
of Kyrie.
Oh yeah, no, from the Boys.
Which one is that?
Isn't it Kyle Urban or something like that? The main one.
I'm terrible with names.
Butcher.
Oh, Butcher.
Yeah,
oh yeah, dude, he'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna be a version of Wolverine.
Dude, if he doesn't go,
yeah, let me get it right because then I'm gonna get a word in the comments, whatever, just to get it right, and then we'll start wrapping up. The Boys.
All I have is Blue Beetle failing.
Yeah, I got it. Carl.
By the way,
Urban. Wow, was I way off? Yeah, Carl Urban.
Vehicle of the Year, by the way, going back to those awards.
Is it that cycle?
Fuck no. It's not released yet. How's it going to be Vehicle of the Year not released?
Oh, it's one that already came out.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Mayhem Pizza Fire Van.
Okay, yeah.
Vehicle of the Year, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Mutant Mayhem Pizza Van by Playmates.
So it's the van they're... But is it like made already as a weapon and stuff? Or is it the one from the movie? But that's
no, it's not the one in the movie. It's not in the movie.
So it's
already
just
a pizza van. That
so it's probably what they'll put in the next movie.
So good.
Dude, that whole scene.
Action Figure of the Year.
Nice Molly whopping me. Dude, that van scene when they're driving, the whole fight. Dude,
if we only had a long, skinny thing that just slip underneath.
He goes, he's using my weapon against me. Nice Molly whopping me. The funniest thing, actually, that I don't know if you caught it, and a lot of people didn't catch it, but I was dying the whole time, is when they start playing the music for that scene. That's what's going on. But it's the meme version of the song from He-Man.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting there listening, dying. Like, dude, they're using the meme version of this song.
I love it.
For this action sequence. It's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's great.
Seth Rogen did a really good job. Hiring kids, letting them rant.
Everyone that they use in that, Ice Cube as the Fly.
So good.
Yeah, he's
Jackie
fantastic.
Chan, Splinter makes a ton of sense.
Awesome.
I mean, the character itself is odd, but
I liked it. I dug it. Because I had my Ninja Turtles.
It is not a ninja movie.
It's a
teenage movie.
It's a teenager
that is the most
movie.
important thing.
It's a teenager mutant movie.
Yeah.
What's the collectibles looking like? Speaking of mutants, I'm sure you caught that trailer for Toxic Avenger.
Nope.
What?
We'll talk about that next time.
There you go. So we're gonna end on
comics,
that note.
collectibles, and coffee.
And crafts.
And
probably the next one will be cocktails.
Next time.
And crazy women.
Well, Amber Heard. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you everybody. Take out Omega saying peace.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Comics, Collectibles, and Cafecito. You crazy kids.
Obey all robots.